she's kind of a glamour girl. Yes, right here. This is my
Good evening. It's a beautiful day in North Las Vegas today. We welcome you to our public city council meeting. There will be two public forums set aside for public comment, one at the beginning of the meeting and one at the end of the meeting. If you wish to speak, please complete one of the blue cards, which are located on the table outside the main entrance or at the podium rail right over here. When I call and ask you to speak, I request that you limit your comments no more than 3 minutes and you avoid repetition. Madam City Clerk, are we in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Tonight we have the opportunity to have an invocation given by Pastor Darrell Harris of Bethesda Church of God in Christ, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I didn't get the name. It didn't get given up to me.
Elizabeth Dabrowski.
Okay, and she's going to lead us in the pledge, so I appreciate you. Please rise.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you in the name of Jesus this evening. You told us in your words, the preparation of the heart belongs to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirits. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. So, Lord, we pray these words, that you would look on these proceedings, that you would guide us in everything we do and say, that you would look on the mayor, that you would look on the council, that you would look on the servant leaders of this community, both business and social, and guide them in everything they do. Whatever is done, O God, let your glory be revealed in everything. We ask these and other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both very much for participating in our meeting this evening. Pastor Darrell, please say hi to your aunt and uncle for me, okay? Otis and Tisha Harris's nephew there. So you have a lot of friends here. They do anyway. All right. Thank you. This time is set aside. This is for public forum on posted agenda items. Madam City Clerk, do we have any blue cards concerning the first public forum?
I do not. No, we do not.
I don't see any either. Would anybody like to come talk to the council on posted agenda items, or wait till the item comes up? You can do it then. Seeing no one rising, we'll close the public forum. Tonight we have two wonderful presentations. We have a presentation for the State of the City proceeds from ticket sales to James C. Strand Helping Hands of North Las Vegas, an organization that assists seniors, residents of North Las Vegas. We are privileged to have some of the board members and the executive director here to accept the donations. Councilman Churchio made a recommendation that this organization receive the additional excess proceeds from the state of the city. That money is set aside, and we find somebody that we think does a great amount of activity and good in our community, and Councilman Churchio brought this group forward, and rightly so, Councilman. That's a great choice. And the next one, we will recognize the Cannery Hotel for their community involvement and continuous support of the city of North Las Vegas. With us tonight is Mr. Patrick Hughes and Ryan Paulos, the new Vice President and General Manager of the Cannery. And Mr. Hughes has moved on to the Fremont Street Experience, but we wanted to thank him for all his many efforts. So we'll go down front, Council. Thank you. There's the check is right there. Yeah, we just want you to start it off.
You're in trouble now.
They hand me the microphone. I said, where's the check? Sorry. not only myself, but a lot of our council people are very aware and know very well the good work that C-Strand Helping Hands does here in North Las Vegas. They take care of a lot of people, and it's fitting that that tonight we not only recognize them with this amount of money from our state up the city, but also next, of course, with the cannery. So I'm going to turn this over to the mayor to actually present the check to C-Strand Helping Hands.
Thank you very much. I'll have you, whoever your leader is, speak a minute. I was made aware of this wonderful group that was named after a former mayor that we had here who gave a lot to the community for many, many years. And I really didn't understand it until they told me what they did. What they do is they find support, they find help in the community, these lovely ladies here. And if you're a senior citizen and you need a light bulb change and you can't afford to have a handyman come over, they have people that come over. If your sink is clogged up and you can't afford it, they have people who donate time. They'll get the water heater for you if you need it. They will do whatever it takes to help these people that just can't help themselves anymore. Sometimes cities are responsible for doing these kind of things, but the obligation is so big and our staff is doing so many things that people fall through the cracks. The C-Strand Helping Hands fills that crack for the residents of North Las Vegas. We're very excited. The selfless hours that you ladies put in here, maybe one of you could explain more of the things you do and the size of your organization and how more people could get involved. That would be wonderful.
So currently we service about 2,100 senior citizens a month with our 3 different programs. We have a transportation program where we will drive seniors to their medical appointments, the grocery store, and what we call other necessary errands, post office, pharmacy, library, bank, things like that. We have a commodities program where we distribute food and paper good items to our clients 1 time a month. Our homebound clients receive that through delivery. We have over 250 volunteers that come 2 Saturdays a month. And they deliver to over 400 senior citizens every other Saturday. Excuse me. And then we do have the home repair program that the mayor was talking about, where we go in and we fix minor things, leaky faucets, clogged toilets. We do a lot of faucet changes out. We have such hard water here in the valley that a lot of times they get that hard water buildup, and with arthritic hands, they can no longer turn their faucets on and off. So we'll go replace those for them at no cost. None of our programs have any cost to our clients. And so that allows us to service them without them having to use their limited income to come back to us. In addition to our senior programs, we also work very closely with 3 Square Food Bank, and we distribute on Fridays to the entire community, so there's no age limit on that, to come to our office on Friday mornings between 8 and 10 and get a box of fresh produce, bread that is donated through Aunt Hattie's Bakery, and other items that we get donated throughout the community. Those go in those boxes, and those people can pick up every single Friday if they need to. And we work with 3 Square to get fresh fruits and vegetables into the hands of people who need them, because when you're on a $700 a month income, fresh fruits and vegetables usually aren't on your grocery list. And we have a lot of seniors that have health concerns and health needs where they need to be on that type of a diet. They have diabetes or heart conditions. And they need those heart-healthy foods, and this allows us to get those type of heart-healthy foods into their homes at no cost to them. So if you want to get involved, we take volunteers any Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 2. We're happy to have you come volunteer. We have the volunteers that deliver on Saturdays as well if you're working Monday through Friday. We're also looking for board members. So if you have a passion for seniors and you want to help programs that would progress and help them in a better way, we'd love to have you talk to us about being involved on our board and helping us that way.
Do you want to introduce your board?
Oh, sure. So over here, I have Joe Dabrowski. He's our board president. Trish McKay is our board vice president. Andrea Dabrowski is our board secretary. And we have Noreen Rysich, who is a treasurer trustee. Sorry. And I think, yep, all the rest of that's council. I'm like, I know all of them, but...
No, we appreciate it. But some of the volunteering doesn't mean that you have to go deliver. You can just come and answer phones when people call in and have a need. You don't need to be out there changing light bulbs. There's so many things you can do. But one of the special things about this retreat tonight is Brian Burton here is from 3 Square, who's a huge participant in helping our seniors here. When we clap, I would just like you to make sure that Brian Burton and Three Square get some kind of support on this. So at this point in time, Councilman Churchio, I'll have you and Anita Wood go over there, and if you would lift that check up and give it to them. And we don't know how cashable it is, but oh, did you? Here, Anita.
So we are so thankful to have this organization in North Las Vegas. And there are not a lot of nonprofits. A lot of them deal with our residents, but very few of them can we say that we have the honor of being their home. And this is an organization that is situated in North Las Vegas, and its primary clients are North Las Vegas residents. So this is really an organization that's near and dear, I know, to my heart, and I know to Councilman Churchio's as well. So it is with great pride and honor that we give this check to Marcia. Are you accepting on behalf, or? Oh, the board's accepting. All right. Andrea, Joe, everybody. Absolutely. Here, I know I can stand in front of the mayor.
Yeah, I have a business card. If you don't mind, I'll give it to you before we head out. Awesome.
Okay, everybody looking this way. 1, 2, and 3. One, two, and
Thank you. Yeah, you guys do great work. Thank you. Congratulations.
Richard, next we have the Cannery Hotel.
Feel like we got family over here tonight, and we do. Let me just mention something. When the mayor spoke about, and I think it was Marcia, spoke about volunteer work and being on the board. I know that we're trying to do some outreach to get a board member for them, and it's only I don't know, how long is it, Marcia? Right. So if there's anybody who would like to spend some of their time helping out Helping Hands, I know we tried to get a veteran on there, and that would work too. Okay, thank you. Oh, there you are. We could tie Helping Hands into the cannery very, very easily as well. We could tie the cannery into very many other things that we do here in North Las Vegas. I could tell you my own experience with Patrick and with the cannery. When, again, Helping Hands was having a problem. They do a Christmas event for the seniors once a year. They were finding it difficult to hold it where they were holding it at Medic West, because their clientele was getting so large. I believe they reached out to me, and I went to that man. And I says, Patrick, you got this beautiful room over here. Is there any way that you could kind of host something for them? And I explained what the issue was. I really didn't have to explain very much. Patrick said, of course. So we got the club to use last year. Once again, this past year, we approached him again, and once again, he said yes. So I could tell you that it isn't very often, but we're starting to see, at least myself as a council person, very, very good community partners. Patrick personally is involved with the military, with our veterans on different committees, the P4, as I was, and of course we have the Veterans Commission over here. So I consider it a privilege when I'm able to go to people like Patrick and the cannery to be able to just say, can you help us out? And the answer is, of course we can. So for those reasons and many, many more, I would like to turn it over to John, our mayor. Absolutely.
I just want to say this. Also, you elect a city council person and they handle these things. But when you elect a mayor, he has different responsibilities. Doesn't have the day-to-day operations of a precinct area. This hotel, through Patrick, has allowed our fire department to come over there and practice and run up and down the stairs and do everything we need to do. We don't have a lot of high structures here that we can practice on. Sometimes we won't have a fire in North Las Vegas, but Las Vegas will, and we have to be prepared to go help them. So the cannery never says no to any of the safety things that the city of North Las Vegas needs. And I wanted you to know from our point of view and the city manager's point of view, we appreciate you letting our men and women be prepared so they're safer in these dangerous situations. And I appreciate you for that.
No, it's I know from time to time the cannery has stepped forward whenever we have our Christmas in the Barrio fundraiser, and we're looking for like a little bit of support from the community. Most definitely, the cannery has always stepped forward to help us out with that. And so, from the bottom of my heart, for the children here in the city of Las Vegas, I thank you on their behalf.
Well, I can add to that. I know I had not been in office very long when I got a call to please come out to the cannery. Would I come out and meet with them because they wanted to talk with me about how to become better community partners and how they could work with the city better. And they have been marvelous from that very, very beginning, working with us on numerous events. They have just been a phenomenal community partner. And we are so thankful and blessed to have them. And Patrick, we're going to miss you terribly. I'm absolutely heartbroken, though I am very happy that we'll have someone wonderful filling your shoes. But you will be missed here in North Las Vegas. And we know you're not going too far away, but still, we will definitely miss you. But we are so very blessed to have you and the cannery here as part of North Las Vegas.
And I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th that motion. We're very grateful for what you do for the city of North Las Vegas. And just on a personal note, the cannery, every time I've reached out and needed assistance with anything from campaigning all the way to community events, you all have been there for me and have helped me out and have not said no. So I want to say thank you. And we just appreciate you all being great community partners in the city of North Las Vegas and in Ward 2. Thank you.
Yeah, Ward 4. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Okay. Special recognition. Presented this March 2nd, 2016 to the Cannery Hotel in recognition of your community involvement, generous donations, and outstanding commitment to the city of North Las Vegas. Of course, from the mayor and our colleagues here on the North Las Vegas City Council. To you.
If I would if you would just for a second like to acknowledge the first unanimous vote in this room in a long, long time. But I really do appreciate working with the mayor and all the city councilmen over the years. It really has been a pleasure, not just for me, but I'm glad that this says the cannery, because this is all about the staff. It really is. For example, that the events you were talking about for Helping Hands, the staff volunteer their time. It was easy for me to say yes when I knew they'd be the one to do all the work. But it's great to see such community partners in the room, such as 3 Square, Brian Burton, and Chef Hilton. And it is with a heavy heart that and it was a very, very hard decision for me to move to the Fremont Street experience because of all the partners and friends and family, as you said, because it really does seem like family that we have formed over the years, from Cass Palmer to Ryan Juden and the pioneer of economic development, Gina Gavin. But you were left in great hands. Ryan Paulus and I have been friends and brothers for 14 years now. And it's the cannery family that maintains the tradition. They're locally owned, and they care about the community. And they gave me the support to be able to make the decisions to reach out and form these community partnerships. So Ryan and his family, the atmosphere continues, and the cannery will continue to be a great community partner in North Las Vegas. So I thank you all.
Madam City Clerk, are you ready to start tonight's agenda?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Item number 1, approval of regular city council meeting agenda of March 2nd, 2016 for possible action.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have one change to tonight's agenda. The applicant has requested item number 3 on the public hearing to be withdrawn. Staff's recommendation is to approve the agenda as amended.
Thank you. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Move to approve as amended.
You please cast your vote.
All right, item number 2, set date on any appeals filed or required public hearings from the City Planning Commission meetings.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. I so direct you to appropriately set any dates appropriate as needed. Thank you.
So noted. Thank you so much.
Moving on to the consent agenda.
Matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be approved by a single motion. However, any council item may be moved to the business portion of the agenda for discussion at the request of any council member.
Dr. Liu.
Mayor and Council, consent agenda consists item number 4 through 10. The recommendation is to approve.
Thank you. Council, I'll need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Please cast your vote. Moving on to the business portion of the agenda.
Item 11, staff's recommendation to allocate $500,000, $283,076.99 of low-income housing trust program funds and $216,923.01 of Home Investment Partnership Act program funds to the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority for soft development costs and hard new construction costs in connection with the development of Rose Gardens Senior Apartments located at 1731 Yale Street, and authorization to the city manager or designee to enter into appropriate agreements for approved programs and projects as required. Tabled February 17, 2016 for possible action.
Thank you. Our Neighborhood and Leisure Services Director, Cass Palmer, Council, is here to give us a presentation.
Mayor, Council, thank you for tonight. With me also tonight is Mr. Jim Hay, really the brains behind our Neighborhood Choice Initiative. But tonight I would like to introduce, before I get started, our partners in Choice Neighborhood from the Housing Authority. Please recognize Mr. Dwayne Alexander, the Acting Director for the Housing Authority. Amparo Gamaza, the Director of Development and Modernization. And Miss Melanie Broad, also from the Development and Modernization. And Melanie is really our go-to person from the Housing Authority that has really been helping Jim and the team out on our Choice Neighborhood Initiative. Tonight in front of you, we have a request for $500,000 of state and federal lift and home funds. These are not general fund dollars that we are asking to be applied to the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority in their quest to build a new structure at Rose Gardens. And I'd like to give you a quick overview of our Choice Neighborhood Initiative, which there are our co-lead, and then roll into the actual building and what $500,000 will obtain us. With that said, our first slide, Choice Neighborhood Initiative is really about two main issues. It's the attraction of private and public investments and resources to really transform our North Las Vegas neighborhoods. To do that, we're going to conduct a 2-year planning initiative with the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority to jointly develop a transformation plan to redevelop the North Las Vegas area. That gave us, HUD gave us $485,000 to do this transformation plan. And we're in the second year of a 2-year plan process to conduct this transformation plan. Again, with the assistance of the Housing Authority, but really on tonight's consent agenda, items 8 and 9, 2 of our major partners, EJP and Nevada Partners, reauthorized their contracts for a second year. And I got to tell you, these partners have been phenomenal. EJP has been on more of the planning process side and developing the plan, and Nevada Partners has been the boots on the ground, along with a couple other partners, really transforming our community. Bi-weekly meetings in the community where we're getting 30, 40 people a weekend to come out and really talk about the community. Jim and team put together 1,000 interested citizens to fill out a multi-page 70-question questionnaire survey to really understand what's going on in the neighborhood. So all in all the teams have been working together great. So part of that Choice Neighborhood Initiative is really to transform the community and transform our public housing sector in North Las Vegas. So we need to develop a community transformation plan by next January the 17th. EJP, item 9 on your agenda tonight, is really going to be helping us lead that process. But we're focusing in on 3 areas: the housing, the people, and the neighborhood. Our sector lead in the housing is the Housing Authority, no one better. The people sector is headed up by Nevada Partners and Lutheran Social Services. And then our neighborhood sector is the City of North Las Vegas and Nevada Partners. And I can see by the initiatives on each of those areas, we're getting into transforming our community. This is the map of the Choice Neighborhood Initiative core map. As you can see in the bottom right, Rose Garden, our public housing area, one of the main gateways to North Las Vegas is right there, Las Vegas Boulevard. All the way over to the left side of the map is our Buena Vista Springs number 1 and 2, which are currently vacant land. But the Choice Neighborhood Initiative encompasses everything within that yellow box from Buena Vista all the way over to Rose Garden and everything in between in the hopes of transforming the plan. This $485,000 grant is to develop a plan. And we'll have a plan that we can call our own so that we can go give it to a developer and have the developer help us figure out what to do in this area. There is an opportunity for us, once this plan is developed, to apply for an implementation grant. That's a $30 million grant from HUD. That $30 million is a long shot, highly competitive scenario, but out there. And that's something that we're vying for with the help of the Housing Authority. The Housing Authority and CNI tie nicely together. The whole focus of CNI is to really help out our public housing. So at Rose Garden, there's currently 120 units, but each of those units are fairly small. Built in 1975, you're talking about a studio around 370 square foot, or a 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit, 500 square feet. The new project will have the same number of rooms, 120, but it'll have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit of 600 square feet, and then another 1- and 2-bedroom, 2-bath units of 775 square feet. So we're really increasing the opportunity for our citizens to really have a nice life and a nice place to live. The project will revitalize and enhance one of the gateways into North Las Vegas, that North 5th and Las Vegas Boulevard area. And also, it helps with the CNI planning grant, because the main focus of CNI was to replace Rose Garden or public housing for our seniors. This is the map of where Rose Garden is right now. It's a close-up. As you can see down the bottom, it's Las Vegas Boulevard coming up. And our gateway is the large Welcome to North Las Vegas sign. And then off to the left in the pink area is where Rose Garden is right now. And the pink box is the current location. And then what's going to happen is we're going to build, the Housing Authority will build on one of 2 sites across the street, as you can see, either to the left or to the top of their current location. They'll build a new structure, and then subsequently, once that new structure is in, they'll move everybody over, and then they will tear down the existing structure. And then the real work begins in terms of what we want to do with that acreage on either side of that property as well as that property. And that really will be the entrance to our new North Las Vegas. And if I may point to the new site to the left, if you look right above, that's Tonopah Park. So we'll hopefully have the senior housing complex across the street from Tonopah Park, which will help in the policing of that park and maintaining that park for the citizens and everything else. So it's a nice opportunity for us. Current pictures of Rose Gardens. As you can see, the facility was built in 1975, single level, 120 units. Still very nice housing, but old and time for new. Proposed pictures for the new housing, 3 stories. Very nice, modern, and again, larger units for the citizens to enjoy, and up-to-date construction techniques. So really, we're the Housing Authority, and with the assistance of us, the Housing Authority really has 2 plans right now to fund their new construction. Plan A is to stay with and they will stay with the Choice Neighborhood Initiative, and then when we've done our planning development and we got our plan, we'll apply for the next grant of $30 million. Heavy competition, probably in the neighborhood of around 15 major cities applying for that $30 million. So it'll be a long shot at best. We're confident, but at the same time, for the Housing Authority, really, they're businessmen and they have to have a plan B. That's what we are here tonight for, is plan B. They've gone together in a new program for the Housing Authority. It's called RAD, Rental Assistance Demonstration Program. But it gives them an opportunity to go out and find funding for new construction. That new construction is going to cost somewhere around $20 to $22 million. Already they've gotten commitments, $12 million on the low housing income tax credit, $6 million from their own funds, from Housing Authority's own bank, and then $1 million from Nevada Home Loan Bank. Key to us, $1 million from the Carr County Home Funds, one of the same funds that we're utilizing tonight. Our funds are a little bit smaller, so we're asking for $500,000 from our home and lift funds for a grand total of around $20.5 million, which will let them kick off on their new project. Project will use home and lift funds, again, state and federal dollars, not city general fund dollars. And this is very appropriate use of our home and lift dollars to help our senior citizens and public housing in that area. So the request in front of you tonight is to ask for $500,000 of lift and home funds, which are state and federal funds, to be directed towards the Housing Authority and for them to utilize in the development of their new property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Mayor Pro Tem, I mean.
And I will just say this now, since we have a pretty nice sized audience, as I usually just say this at the end of the meeting when our audience is pretty scarce. First of all, just thank you to Cass and all, Jim, special thank you to, and all of our sector leads in the audience. Just thank you for all of the hard work that you're doing. And Cass just kind of brushed by this, so I'm just going to enunciate it that we do meet every other Thursday at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 8 o'clock at Zion United Methodist Church. And we will be meeting tomorrow evening, so I encourage you to come out and see what's going on, because we are planning while doing, and we're working on our calendar of events, and it's getting pretty packed pretty quick. Just the things that we're going to do in each of the people sector, the neighborhood sector, and the housing sector. So if you've got some community events that are going on, that could benefit us, to help us to secure this when we go to compete for this transformation dollars, it would be greatly appreciated. But we're inviting you just to come out and find out what's going on and get involved.
Thank you. Councilwoman Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. I've just got a couple of quick questions. Now, for this particular item, we're talking about reallocating low-income housing trust program funds and Home Investment Partnership Act program funds. And we have reviewed that with HUD, and HUD is on board with the reallocating of those funds, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes, we have.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to make something clear, because you've been talking about this transformation plan. And I know that we've all been talking about this Choice Neighborhood Grant, and that the grant is due at the end of this year. So who's working on the grant? The grant and the plan are the same thing, or?
The plan is what we're working on. So 2 grants in question. The first grant is the planning grant. That's the $485,000. Us, Housing Authority, are the co-leads. All those partners that we talked about are all of the boots on the ground, so to speak. So all of us are putting the plan together. The lead coordinator, or the lead person, is EJP. They're doing a phenomenal job. Scott Jepson and his team helping us put the actual plan together for submittal to HUD. That said, HUD is with us every 2 weeks. We have makeup calls with them, and so we're in lockstep with them. But the plan is ours to keep. So at the end of this, we walk away with a plan that we can now go give to a developer to say, hey, I've got these areas, Rose Gardens, and I have Buena Vista Springs 1 and 2. Can you help us, and everything in between, help us to develop these areas? Here's what the citizens want, here's what the city wants, and help us go find financing for it and help us go develop it. We're doing an RFP as we speak. We're down to about 3 developers that we're going to pick here shortly, and they'll be our lead developer on all those projects. So the $485,000 gives us a plan. Part 2, the second grant, is what they call an implementation grant. Unrelated, or related, but distant from this. So once we're done with our planning grant, we have our transformation plan, Then we independently apply for the implementation grant of $30 million. Again,
And you're submitting the transformation plan to get the implementation grant.
correct.
So just by
That's
working on the
first.
transformation plan, we are working basically on the documentation and
submission for the
information that
grant.
we need later on for the grant.
Correct. We're working on the basis for the submission. The application will be a unique application, more fill in the blank and everything else. But we need to tell them what we're going to use that $30 million for.
Well, it's all the backup documentation,
Correct.
the plan, correct?
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when I get asked questions, and I get this one from the public periodically, but are we making any progress on the grant? Is the grant going to be ready come the end of the year? The answer is 95% of it will be done because all the backup for this grant
Correct.
is that transformation plan, and it will be done.
It properly positions the city to ask for the implementation dollars, because now we've had that in-depth conversation with the community, and we've got a developer on board to say, yes, this makes sense to us, I can put it in here, it's ballpark going to be this, and away we go.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And the last one is, now, I know over at Buena Vista Springs, the main site, is there not several buildings that are still under, that we're still trying to demolish?
Outside of, yes, and I'm going to talk about, outside of the graded area, alongside that are two complexes. One is the senior citizens housing apartments. Adjacent to that is about 4 apartments that have been vacant, there are people living in there right now, that we're trying to gain access to. Nevada Hand, Mike, is trying to purchase those facilities so that we can tear them down and build something better in that area. It really becomes more imminent and apparent as Buena Vista comes up. We've got to do it beforehand. One, it would be a lot cheaper for us to do it now. So there's 2 units, 2 apartment complexes. One's the senior housing, that's going to stay, and the other 4 units on the due south part of the southeast corner are the ones we're looking at obtaining.
So do we have any kind of ETA for?
No, not yet.
But we're still working on it.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Barone?
To begin with, I want to thank you, Cass, and thank the rest of our staff, and of course all of our partners who are actually working on this. That's part of my ward, and just a couple weeks ago, of course, I took my own eyeball tour of that area. We're talking about the Rose Garden area. We're talking about literally one of the oldest parts of North Las Vegas. We're talking about how homes were built in the 1930s and 1940s that some are still inhabited, some are not. What this represents is on the city's part, I think, is a new look at what I would say has been a neglected part of our city. It's the downtown core. It's stone's throw away from the major entryway into our city, and it's been neglected for a long time. What this represents, instead of having everyone knows the old adage of a broken window on a street that winds up being replicated, right? I think this represents the other way around, a jewel, and quite frankly, in this part of town. This new development, this redevelopment, this Rose Garden redevelopment, it's going to look like a jewel. That's going to wind up, I think, starting an impulse. It's going to be impulsing a whole new wave of development in the area. What this represents, I think, is some confidence in ourselves, Mayor. I think some self-confidence, a reinvestment into the community that we have not seen. And quite frankly, if you've walked that area, you've seen just how much that area is suffering. Again, we have a park that people really can't use in the daytime for various reasons. We have abandoned cars that go unnoticed. They go unnoticed. They seem to be part of the landscape. I think we have to say that those abandoned cars, homes that are burned out and stay there for a while, parks that are unused, are going to be part of the past. We need to make them part of the past. We need to make a declaration that's not going to be good enough for our residents anymore. This is an incredible step forward. I look forward to our other friends in the neighborhood. We're talking about Mr. Mullen coming in as well, right? We're talking about different projects coming in at the same time. and we're right on the precipice of a new wave of development. We're seeing some commercial development start up here in Ward 1 along the Lake Mead corridor. People are beginning to believe in us, Mayor, and I think we have to show that we have commitment as well. And this is something that I am most vociferously in agreement with. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the residents of my Ward 1.
Thank you. Councilman Churchill, did you have something?
Yes, I did, but Mayor Pro Tem, did you want to? Once again, as my colleagues mentioned, you're doing great work. On occasion, I get questions, and of course, this is not my ward. That's Councilman Barone, of course, Mayor Pro Tem's. And I'm glad you kind of gave this presentation because we did have some questions at briefing. There were some misconceptions that at least I felt needed to be brought out, both on 2 of the consent items without removing them, but you addressed them, so I appreciate that. The other 2 things that I'd like you to clarify, at least for me and everybody here or watching, as I understand, this choice grant started with Buena Vista 1 and 2, and some of the questions I was getting or am getting is how come Rose Gardens was tied into this? Could you explain that for the record so people understand why Rose Garden is now in there?
Sure, yes. Choice Neighborhood Initiative, CNI is what we call it, is a HUD program, a Housing and Urban Development Program. CNI's main focus is on public housing. So existing, let me add that keyword, existing public housing. If you want a Choice Neighborhood grant, got to have existing public housing. Buena Vista Springs is one of our top priorities. Buena Vista Springs is not existing. It's graded land, and so Buena Vista Springs by itself would not qualify for the Choice Neighborhood Initiative grant. Therefore, to focus or to get help on Buena Vista, we mandatorily had to add, so they're not a housing authority, Rose Gardens and everything. Of the implementation grant that we will apply for once we have our transformation plan, approximately 70% must go towards public housing. So 70% of 30 million is 21 million has to go towards Rose Gardens, and the balance 9 we can use for the rest of the area, all the way over the middle area, all the way over to Buena Vista Springs.
So you needed Rose Gardens in there as a component to get the grant money.
A mandatory component, yes.
Okay. The $500,000. Just to clarify it again, and you did say this, but just once again, Rose Gardens, the $500,000 going to Rose Gardens, it's not going to be torn down. It's going to be replaced and torn down. Okay, it'll still be there, but it'll be a new version of Rose Gardens.
You're exactly right. So new construction will commence at some juncture in time once the approvals and once we get a decision from Choice. But once those decisions are made, Rose Gardens will either be across the street on the map to the left or to the north, one of those 2 locations. New construction will begin and commence and end, and once it's completed, we'll move the housing authority will move everybody over, and at that time, once the people are new and in place in their new places, then they will tear down the old or the existing building.
Okay, last question. The $500,000 that are being used, and I know it's not general fund money, and it's being used for a very, very good cause. Mm-hmm. If we're blessed enough to get the grant for $30 million, that $500,000 that we submitted now, do we get that back?
The short answer is yes, sir. No, okay. Those dollars will come back to us. The Housing Authority is waiting on a decision from Choice Neighborhoods on that grant. The problem is timing. The implementation, our plan is due by the end of the year, and it'll take HUD a while to go through it and everything else. And so the clock is ticking along that. But yes, if we get the grant, the $30 million grant, and $21 million of that goes over to the Housing Authority, then the $500,000 that's in question tonight comes back to us.
Okay, thank you. Answered all my questions. Thank you for the hard work.
Thank you. Mr. Hay, thank you for being here. I know most of this effort on the ground is because of the effort that you put forward.
Well, it's everybody's effort. Thank
well, I just want to give you a high five.
Nice.
Yeah, you're very humble. You work very, very hard at this. But before we vote on this, we have a new director of the Housing Authority. Is he here?
Interim director.
Interim. Could you introduce this handsome man to us?
Yes, I can. Dwayne Alexander.
Now you know how it feels to be a city council person around here.
Excuse me?
Now you know how it feels to be a city council
Yes,
person. Whenever I have to go
exactly.
speak, I have them stand up and they don't know what to talk about. It's like, what am I doing here too? So we'd like to know a little bit about you and what.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. My name is Dwayne Alexander, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director. I'm filling in for the vacant Executive Director's position. I've been here for the last 5 years as the Deputy Executive Director for the Southern Nevada Housing Authority. Prior to coming here, I worked 5 years as a Chief Operating Officer for the Virgin Island Housing Authority, and I spent about 8 years at the Philadelphia Housing Authority, as well as about 4 years at Miami Housing Authority, to Atlanta Housing Authority. I have about 27 years in the business. I'm a certified property manager, certified commercial property manager, certified construction manager. So I've been in housing just about all my life.
Well, welcome. I hope you put your name in for the permanent position.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the presentation this evening.
Thank you.
Council, any comments or questions on this? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Item 12, presentation by Fable West, President and co-founder of the Foundation Assisting Seniors regarding a free wellness program entitled How Are You?
Thank you, Mr. West.
I guess I'm no longer mechanical. I think that comes along with the aging process. Trying to stand on one foot doesn't work too well anymore either. My name is Fable West. I'm the co-founder and the president of the Foundation Assisting Seniors. And I'd like to offer my congratulations to Marcia and Helping Hands of North Las Vegas. They do much of what we do, except we don't give away food. But we do provide durable non-medical equipment. We serve about 75,000 people over the years that we've been in business. And a couple of years ago, we had a little program that came about, and that was that we were notified that a lot of people in our area were passing away and nobody knew about it. Now, it might be good at this point, before I go any further, to see this little public relations thing, if you don't mind.
The population of Southern Nevada is made up of 1/3 of persons over the age of 50.
Which is why the City of Henderson is proud to team up with the Foundation Assisting Seniors. The services and programs that they offer enhance the quality of life for everyone throughout the community.
The Foundation Assisting Seniors provides its programs and services through volunteers and community service groups and does not charge for their services.
The Foundation provides multiple services that include home maintenance and transportation.
They also provide the maintenance and delivery of durable medical equipment for short-term loan at no charge.
Equipment includes canes, crutches, wheelchairs, shower seats, and bedside commodes. Our newest service is the How Are You personal safety call. How Are You calls subscribers daily to see if they are well. The program is available to anyone over the age of 50.
This program provides peace of mind to seniors and their families and has already saved at least one life in our community. For more information, visit foundationassistingseniors.org or call 725-244-4200.
We saw our warehouse there. We have about 500 pieces of equipment. Those are moved out probably between 10 and 20 pieces a day, and they're all at no charge. What I wanted to talk a little bit about was the How Are You program, and I think that's the most important program that anybody has come up with for seniors. As I mentioned earlier, we had 41 people pass away. These are people that I know that passed away and nobody knew it. They laid there from 3 days to 6 weeks before they were discovered. So we tried to figure out a way of ending this. Now, of course, everybody knows you can buy those medallions, you know, for $38 a month, or maybe even get one for $28 a month. My parents, I bought them $78 a month for 2 of them, and they were put on the shelf somewhere, never to be used. My mother fell down 4 o'clock in the morning, broke her femur. Fortunately, her sister was there, and the 2 of them sat down and had coffee. By the time they made the call to emergency at 9 o'clock, because nobody calls anybody before 9 in the morning or after 9 at night, that's the way it is. But by the time they arrived, my mother was feeling no pain because my aunt was filling her coffee cup with something besides coffee. But that's another story. What we did then is I found a couple of companies that were producing programs that we thought might be able to help out a little bit. We tested both of them. I wanted my calls to be placed to me at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got it at 3:15 in the afternoon. So we rejected that company. We went to another company coming out of the Middle West called Are You OK? Same thing. I wanted my 7 o'clock call, and I got it anywhere between 12 and 4 in the afternoon. So what we did is we sat down and worked up our own program. We hired a programmer, and that program is called How Are You? And the month of January, we made 1,127 calls. And it goes something like this. Hello, this is the How Are You operator. If you're okay, press 1. If you're not okay, call 911. If you don't answer, 15 minutes later, we make the same call. If you don't answer, then we call a person you designate as the first emergency number. Could be a neighbor, could be family, could be just about anybody, could be your cell phone. If you don't answer, then we call the second emergency number. If you don't answer, now you get a real operator, and we check on you to see how you're doing. We may call somebody go over, but at the end of the day, if we get no answer, we call 311. And then the emergency responders will take care of it. These are robocalls, but as you know, a person actually has to call 911 or 311. It can't be a robocall. The calls are all on our own computer. They're all stored. We can make 1 million calls at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 7:15 or whatever. So there's no limitation. And the other programs all had limitations of 3 people per hour. So this program is a special program. We've been endorsed by the by the police department of Henderson, by the city council of Henderson, and I met with each of you about a year ago and kind of introduced this program to you, although at the time it wasn't quite as perfect as we wanted it. Now we're bringing a program out that works, and it works all the time. And I wanted to introduce that to you today and tell you that it's really a good program, and when I get my call at 7 o'clock, I get my call at 7 o'clock. I can check my watch. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
I kind of do. Mr. West, you have volunteers that do this, is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct? And can you give us an idea of your structure?
Well, we have about 24 people who are our board of trustees. And we have one person that we have leased, because we have no employees. We pay no salaries, but we have at least one person to come in and do our little bit of administrative work. So the president, the vice president, the typical vice president. We have 3 vice presidents, one for each community that we serve, and we have, of course, our secretary and treasurer. And we're increasingly busy because seniors are the only growing industry for the past 8 years. And we've been increasing by about 20% per year. Not a good thing, but it's the real thing. And as a matter of fact, representing Aliante right now is one of our one of the groups that actually do the service work. We have behind me Carl Vondre, over my left, your right, and Owen Agee. And these are both people that work out of, and I think probably some of you know them, they're veterans, both of them, and they work out of Aliante, and they deliver the same type of things that we've been talking about up here.
Would you gentlemen come up for just a second? And I guess my question is to hear your situation, what you're doing in North Las Vegas. And number 2 is to tell you that We are preparing to do a large home site project in North Las Vegas, and a lot of veterans moving here, and we're looking forward to these new residents coming. Maybe your insight would be good for us to realize what we're looking at with you now and what it might take in the future. So whoever you would like to.
Well, we have a veterans club in Sun City, Aliante, I think as most of you know. And so it would, you know, if you're talking about veterans, okay, would it tie in with that? Is that what you're referring to? Tying in our
we will
veterans?
be attracting a lot of veterans because of the VA hospital.
Right,
So
right.
Even though we will have a senior citizen population continues to come here, I'm just curious, we will see an influx of retired people soon.
Yeah, and of course with the new development up north of 215, there's going to be an age-restricted community up there too in a few years. So that adds that, and we're actually trying to expand. Right now, the foundation represents 3 or 4 of the Sun City Aliante communities: McDonald Ranch, us in Aliante, Anthem, and Solera. Okay, but we're looking to expand that further beyond that to other senior communities such as Ardiente in North Las Vegas. We're working on that. So we're looking to expand our what we do. But as far as the veterans, if you're talking about that, the Veterans Club is very active in Aliante, and we can help expand, to help veterans.
Thank you very much. Sir, did you have something to offer?
Just to answer a quick question, the How Are You program is available to anybody in the entire valley. It's not just to our 3 communities. It's available to anybody. We can actually go across the United States with it because our phone system will call anywhere. It's free of charge. It can make multiple calls a day. It doesn't have to be just one call. If the client wants to be called multiple times, that's possible. There's also the ability to call and remind them to take medication. Many of the seniors sometimes forget to take the medication that they need every day, and the system will call them at the time that they set to take their medication. So it's a great program, and it's absolutely free, no charge whatsoever.
This is exciting. I want to thank you, Mr. West. We met you a year ago, and I'll let the council say something in just a second, but I don't know any way other than tell you thank you, but you'll get your reward in heaven for something like this. I know that is that valuable to these people. Councilman Barone, we'll just go right down the list if you have anything you want to offer.
Yeah, Ms. West, it's good to see you again. Again, if there's anything I can do to help you out with Ardiente, which is literally right around the corner from where I live, I got a chance to interact with lots of the great folks in Ardiente. It's kind of like a gated community. I really don't get in there very often. I don't get invited in there. But I had a really nice conversation with a lot of them as a result of these caucuses that we had a couple weeks ago, and met a lot of fine people. And again, anything I can do to help out, you know how to get a hold of me. And even if you don't remember, I'll be happy to meet with you afterwards.
Councilwoman Wood.
Well, I just want to thank all of you for what you're doing. I think it's an amazing program, and I think it's very necessary for our seniors. And we've got a lot of wonderful seniors who are living on their own, and their children may not necessarily live in the valley. And so to make sure that there's somebody checking in and just to make sure they're okay every day is just a wonderful amenity. And it's nice to see that you started it at Henderson. We're so thrilled that you're doing it here, and you might have to update your video now for North Las Vegas.
We'd be happy to do that.
Wonderful.
Mayor
Anything we can do to help.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure meeting with you last year, I remember. I'm glad that the program is running sufficiently right now. I guess my question is just your advertising. You need to have those commercials like those medical alerts running through the major networks here in Las Vegas. That would be awesome.
Well, we're working on that right now. Our PR firm is Trosper Communications, and Liz Trosper is sitting back on my left, on your right. And we're working with her just to do exactly that. Now, it's very difficult for a foundation, especially a new foundation, one without a recognizable name, to really make an impact. We've been on channels 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13. We've been about on every channel. And I know myself, sometimes I kind of turn around and go get a cup of tea or a glass of milk or something when something like that comes on, and I'm sure that's pretty much the case. But what we're doing is we're developing a program that will enable us to have some frequency and with respect to putting on our ads. We have one person that was signed up in Maryland, and unfortunately that person passed away last Monday. But he passed away knowing that he was getting a call every day, and a good friend of mine. Any other questions that I can
Yes,
answer?
Councilman Churchill.
Well, I wasn't here a year ago, but I know I recognize your face. I attend quite a few of the veterans meetings in Sun City. Cy Nielsen does an excellent job. All of you do an excellent job up there. And I remember you doing a presentation, I believe, one of the nights when I was there. So I thought I knew you. And the mayor was correct. You know, we're looking to expand our reach with the veterans. We have a commission here now, and I know that Cy was on the commission for a while there, but he's very busy in Sun City. But we plan on working in partnership with your organization if we can. I'm here to help. Sun City Aliante does an amazing job up there with that veterans group. You grew that veterans group from 0 to 80 in no time. How many members do you have right now?
About 200.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I was happy to become a honorary member so I can get on the email list from Richard Lawhead. So thank you for all you do, and I'll probably see you at the next meeting.
Thank you, team.
Do you have like a lot more of these?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to have some.
I can get them to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We probably only have maybe 1,000 left.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your presentation.
I just
I'll
want
take
to
a few
add,
hundred
if
of those.
anybody, any or all of you want to come out to Sun City Aliante, I can leave my card. You can get a hold of me, and you can see what we do and what we have in storage and whatnot if you want to do that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your presentation. Very uplifting. Thank you so much. We are our brother's keeper. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next, item 13.
Excuse me. Item 13, presentation, discussion, and/or action by 3 Square Food Bank, a local nonprofit agency, regarding the valley-wide food insecurity issue facing our local cities for possible action.
Thank you, Mr. Burton, the godfather of all great things that happen in this community. You are a tremendous leader.
Great, thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. I'll try to be brief. I know you have a full agenda. But mainly, we wanted to come tonight and just give you a brief overview of the hunger situation in our community. And as 3 Square is in the midst of developing a new 4-year strategic plan, at the end of this presentation, we'd love to have any input or questions you might have, and certainly feel free over the coming weeks as you think of ideas for us to consider, that you feel free to contact us. Let me see if I can get this to, there we go. Hey. So our mission is to feed the hungry. Our vision is for a hunger-free community, because we all know that if children are getting the nutrition they need, they're going to be thriving and more successful in school and in their family life and community. And if we can eliminate this problem, we're going to have more attractive economic development environment here, as well as just a more attractive and humane place to live. So our slogan is Together We Can Feed Everyone. 3 Square was just started 8 years ago, so we're still considered kind of a startup. We're young, but we're pretty feisty. We've already gotten to 38 million pounds of food that we distribute out to about 200 agency partners, many of whom are right here in this immediate area. As you see our core values there, you'll probably gravitate to one or more of those. Urgency is the one that I think is most relevant, because we've had to do quite a bit of work to get up and moving the way we are in this amount of time. What's nice is we're your neighbors. We're 5 miles down the road. We're at North Pecos and Craig Road. So we're very proud to be a part of the North Las Vegas community. This is a very unique map. We're the only food bank in the nation that has food insecurity, which we define as any family that worries about where their next meal is coming from. we have that broken down by zip code, not just the county. And so as you can see, the zip code here, I think about 1 out of 5 folks consider it food insecure. The darker shaded areas are more distressed, and the lighter shaded areas are less distressed. However, as you can see, every single zip code is touched by food insecurity. Even some of the ones that you would not expect, maybe like in the Summerlin area. So in some of those areas, believe it or not, 1 out of 8, 1 out of 9 people worry about their food. It's 1 out of 4 kids, and then 2 out of 3 in the Clark County School District, of course, come from low-income households. This gives you kind of a hard-to-read slide of how the food bank works. We basically are the model of efficiency. There's only one Feeding America food bank serving the 4 counties, 9 Lincoln, Esmeralda, and Clark County. So we very efficiently collect food. We rescue about 13 million pounds from the grocery stores, and then we purchase millions of pounds of fresh produce and haul it in here on a daily basis from California. It's a gorgeous product. We get it pennies on the dollar, and then we distribute that straight on out to places like Helping Hands that we honored here tonight. So we're a very efficient system of collecting and distributing food to all of the agencies, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, all of those agencies that are feeding the hungry, as well as schools and other community partners. The strategic plan we're working on, today we're at 38 million pounds of food, as I mentioned. That translates into about 32 million meals. Our goal by the end of this strategic plan is to hit 50 million pounds of food. And when we do that, we will know that we have enough food for access for everyone who needs it. It'll simply be fine-tuning the distribution so we can reach all of these hard-to-reach vulnerable populations. You can see you'll be interested maybe in the Safe Key site. You guys have been a wonderful partner allowing us access into those after-school programs that you have with the school and Parks and Recs, and I think it's Jody, is it Donna Newman that helps us with that? Yeah, Donna Newman's been very helpful to us, and so that's providing those meals right into those vulnerable programs and areas where kids are hungry, and we have 19 of those sites right here in North Las Vegas. So thanks for your support on that. This also localizes it. 32 elementary schools that we serve the meals at. We're presently packing, today we packed 11,000 meals in our kitchen, and about 50 volunteers did that in about 2.5 hours. So it's an amazing production. We'd love to invite all of you to come out and see that in action any morning of the week. And we also want to educate families about nutrition. A lot of them have never seen some of the produce that we're offering to them, so they don't know how to fix it or what to do with it. So we have a program called Fruit and Veggie Experience FAVE that we take out now to the schools, and we're going to expand that to all 18 Safe Key sites. We have an after-school supper club that we're piloting so that the students who aren't enrolled in Safe Key can come and eat at the beginning of the program and then leave. At that one elementary school in Las Vegas, we had 160 kids show up the first supper club that we had. So this is startling numbers. I mean, this is not something we should be disturbed by this, the magnitude of the need. We should be very grateful that we have a community that's so generous and the partners that can actually meet the need. So in summary, our strategic plan will carry us through the year 2020. And you guys, I mean, the reason I'm here is because you know your community better than anyone. We want to know what gaps are out there, what unmet needs, what opportunities that you think an asset like 3 Square could meet and leverage resources in order to better feed our community. So if you can identify partners that we may not be working with presently, if you can think of other opportunities like Safe Key that we can reach these kids, and then just help us to recruit more volunteers. We have 26,000 Volunteers, we're going to need 10,000 more over the next 3 years. So that's a presentation.
Thank you.
Mayor?
We're going to ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
Maybe learn. Would you bring your staff down here for a minute? I've had the opportunity to work with them, and I think that they're very praiseworthy.
May I introduce them? Come on
Yeah.
down, guys. Jody Tyson is our Government Affairs Director. Chef Hilton is our first executive chef that actually designed our kitchen and oversees all of that activity. And Brian Knutson is our facilitator for our strategic plan. And Mayor, we appreciate your interest in having visited us several times and volunteered and bringing your church friends down there. And Councilman Barone and others of you have been down there, and we're really grateful for that.
Well, actually, the last time I was there, the city employees from North Las Vegas were there, and we worked for you on a Saturday. So it is a community with pride that we support you.
Thank you.
I think I'll go down. I think everybody's going to want to compliment you or your staff, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely.
And if you have any questions or concerns, we can. There'll be no action on this item, but we can come back later and work on this if we'd like.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Of course, again, I was corrected. By the way, Mayor Pro Tem, you're absolutely right. The new Cracker Barrel is in your ward.
I told you it was.
Yeah.
Councilman
You see, the rest of several of my colleagues here, they bristle whenever I say that when it's happening if it's happening in Las Vegas, it happens in Ward 1, and most definitely 3 Square is in Ward 1. But it's really all joking aside, though, it's really ironic that your facility right there where it's at, you're probably in the midst of the biggest food desert in the entire valley.
Yeah.
Because there's not a supermarket on Craig Road within about 1.5 miles of Craig Road, heading from just right from where the park is there at Craig and Commerce,
Yeah.
all the way down to the Air Force Base. Because now Walmart just closed, and it's really ironic. It's an incredible food desert.
Yep.
I've tried to work with a couple of the grocers there in the community, right? And there aren't too many people who are willing to work with them to bring them in. I know I'd like to have a dialogue with you to maybe and maybe with Gina with Gina, bring her in. She's our business person. Something we can do to relieve this.
Yep.
It might even be like a multi-jurisdictional thing, since we abut with county. But I do get calls from residents. Residents who are disabled, who I'm happy to say that many of them do have the money to spend, right? But food is it's a huge issue in that area, and I applaud extended members do to help out. Perhaps it's a dialogue that we can have. We have to do something.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so very much for being an integral part of our community.
Our pleasure.
Well, all I can say is you may be in Ward 1, but I know you're helping people throughout North Las Vegas, and that's throughout all of the wards. And I know my son is a Safe Key kid and was there today while I've been here at work. And,
Nice.
we're really grateful for that. These kids, they get up very, very early, and they get a very early lunch. And so by the time 4, 5, 6 rolls around, by the time we parents come to pick up our kids, it's sometimes been a long afternoon for them. And to get the meal that you give them at Safe Key, I just think is wonderful. And I've seen them, and they're just, very nutritious. And my son has never complained. So you guys must be doing a good job.
Way to go, Chef Hilton. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate
And
that feedback,
we do
Councilwoman.
appreciate it. Even in my family, like I said, we use that service through my son, and I know there's a lot of families who are really struggling out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the only meal they're getting that they know for sure. And so we really appreciate what you do for our young people and really for our families in North Las Vegas. It really does make a difference.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add my thanks to you as well for what you do. Having worked at Longmead Hurd Elementary School, which is on Nellis Air Force Base, for the last 4.5 years, just servicing military families, I work with a group of young men and women in uniform who are extremely proud, and rightly so. But I also see children who say, but I'm still hungry. Looking on from the outside looking in, you would never know that because their parents are extremely proud. So I just want to know, is there some type of partnership? I'm going to worry about my kids in the summertime, or if they are hungry, and I don't know if the Safe Keep program services the base. Just those are my thoughts, and I just wanted to know, you know, you asked for an idea, and I'm just wondering, is that a possibility?
The summer feeding program actually exists across the area. This last year had close to 100 sponsored sites that we had through the food bank. There are a couple other sponsors like the Clark County School District and their extended year programs and summer programs, and then also the Culinary Academy. We are planning kind of that corridor that leads down toward Nellis Air Force Base, our first ever mobile feeding program in the summertime, though, too. It has always been a requirement of us to be able to work with apartment complexes and areas along the routes that would be willing to house a cooler for us, that are willing to give up an apartment that might not be used at that time so that kids can assemble and eat, because the requirement is that they eat together. It's called congregate feeding. Now what we're doing is actually we have a different kind of truck, and so we're actually stopping at apartment complexes. Even if they can't house a cooler for us or give us space to use, we're just going to have kids eat on the grass, and we're going to stop at apartment complexes along the way. Kind of that, can't remember what the street is right now, but it's the street, I think it might be Lake Mead or Nellis, and then crosses over to Nellis. So there's a cross section, and it'll be the first test of the summer feeding pilot, what we call a mobile pilot. So,
and then just next year with the charter school coming on aboard, I don't know what their plan is before school, after school, or lunch care. I have no idea about that, but that just be, you know, something else to keep in mind. If you could reach out to it's Coral Academy that will be coming in to see what their plan is, if they could use your services as well.
yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for that input.
I'm very aware of your organization and the great work you do. I was one of those employees who went down there, and I've never seen so many potatoes in one room in my life. I was bagging potatoes for I don't know how many hours. But I have a very dear friend, Laura Coleman, who is very familiar with Three Square. And sometimes when we go there for dinner, we discuss, you know, how important your organization is and all of the good things that you do. Laura and I work closely on veterans issues. And I'd like to discuss maybe at sometime in the near future how we could address some of the needs of our veterans as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is the exact input that we were hoping to get. You mentioned Gina Gavin. I want to say Gina has been a great advocate for Three Square for many years, as well as Cass Palmer, who's also in the room. So we feel like we're with friends tonight. We appreciate your generosity and know that our door is open for continuing this conversation. And if there's anybody that wants to check out that website, it's threesquare.org. We'd love for you to do that.
And we'll follow up with you on a couple of the things that you brought up, so we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
Chef, did you want to explain what the chef does? Just
Chef loves to speak in public.
Well, he came all the way down here. I just wanted you to recognize him.
This guy is amazing because he oversees that beehive of activity in the kitchen, because we're running that kitchen, it seems like morning, noon, and night now, preparing those meals. He's gotten a perfect, you know, the health inspectors come and they don't tell you they're coming, they surprise you. The last 3 inspections, he's got a perfect score, which hardly ever happens in a restaurant. So we're very proud of the quality and the commitment that Chef Hilton brings to Three Square. So thanks for recognizing him, Mayor.
Thank you, Chef. I've enjoyed your creations. I should say they're wonderful. Thank you very much. There's no action on this item. It was a presentation. We're always available if you come up with ideas. But I think the thing is right. As new businesses come into town who might want to support you, we should be, through Ms. Gavin, recognizing that and letting you know.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We've just added a team building program, so businesses are coming in now and having that benefit to them as well. So there's just a lot of exciting work ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 14.
All right. Accept the donation of 0.15 acres of land from Clark County Assessor's Parcel Number 139-16811-027, located at 2429 North Street for public purpose use for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve.
Please cast your vote.
Item 15, interlocal contract with the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada in the amount of $8,068 funded by the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada, Question 10 funds for off-street shared use path maintenance fiscal year 2016 for possible action.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on this item? If not, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve.
Items approved.
Appointment, item 16, appointment of an at-large citizen representative to the Clark County Regional Flood Control District Citizens Advisory Committee to fill an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2016 for possible action.
Thank you. This was on the regional flood control. I contacted the director. She helped me. We went through some applications. We found somebody that has an interest in this professionally, wants to learn about it and be more involved. She called them up. She kind of interviewed them. They seemed like to be a fine candidate representing North Las Vegas. So at this time, we'd like to appoint Donald Rehman, R-E-H-M-A-N-N, to the Clark County Regional Flood Control District Citizens Advisory Committee to work with Ms. Duty in that regard. That will be the appointment. That'll be my motion too. Please cast your vote. Oh, I have to make the motion. Items approved. City Manager's report.
No additional items to report tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
You've had a lot of good presentations by your staff tonight. Thank you very much. Council items. Council, do you have any things that you'd like to share with the community? Ms. Wood?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a great week here in North Las Vegas. We've had a lot of excitement going on. I got to spend yesterday in the morning as a payback speaker, encouraging 8th grade students at Johnston Middle School to stay in school. And it was quite the experience. They had great speakers there, including one gentleman from the Sudan, who was one of the Sudanese boys. And boy, just listening to some of these people and their stories, and seeing these people and the commitment they were making and the time they were willing to give up for our kids was great. And then I got to top it off that afternoon by going to Ava Simmons Elementary School and reading to some second graders. And I found a magnificent book, The Day the Crayons Quit. And the kids had such a blast. And I had so much fun reading that book to them. So it was really a very special day yesterday. And today was a red letter day for North Las Vegas, too, as we woke up. And most of us were out this morning to the site on Craig Road in Berg, where we're going to have a new Cracker Barrel coming to the city of North Las Vegas. And that means my husband's finally going to start talking to me again, because he's been waiting for this for several years and been telling me for about a year now that, as we've been hearing rumors of it, that no, it's not going to happen. You watch, it's not going to happen. Well, he had to eat his words today. And he came out with me to the groundbreaking, and we just had an amazing time. We were so thrilled to see that restaurant come to North Las Vegas. Councilman Churchio and I and the other council people, I know we hear a lot from residents that we're not getting enough and don't have enough diversity of restaurants in our city. And so they're coming today and starting that process is the move in the right direction. They are amazing. They're hoping to open in July. So it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround. So we had just a lot of fun. And then we went to another groundbreaking in the afternoon. And so 2 groundbreakings in one day. for North Las Vegas, that's the height of the day.
Oh, thank you. You know, Councilwoman's been wanting this restaurant initiative to start, and we've tasked her with finding these restaurants, and I know it was in your district, Ms. Goins-Brown, you can mention something, but now that this one's done, we're excited to hear about the next one you bring forward.
Absolutely.
Councilman, do you have anything?
Oh, just last Friday, I want to really thank our staff, Nancy, of course, our acting city clerk, Amanda, who and of course our security personnel who helped us put together a fantastic art show, Express Number 3. For the public who's coming in, you might notice outside in our little gallery, which is of course our foyer that was turned into our gallery, there are several art pieces there. And if you missed out on the food, it was great. No wine, but lots of cheese, right? Well, we don't like whining anyhow. But anyhow, please take a chance to tour and appreciate the art. Several of them are for sale, except for, of course, the one that I have dibs on. I'm getting the Bob Marley piece. But there are other pieces that are actually for sale, and I'm not sure who we're supposed to contact. But again, I'm very happy that that went off. And I'm ponying up for the plaques for our first place winners. Maybe we'll have a chance to present that to them at our next city council meeting. And also towards the end of this month, I'm also a part of the Cesar Chavez committee, and I'll definitely have some more information as to preparations for Cesar Chavez Day a little bit later on this month.
Thank you, Councilwoman. You're fine. Councilman Churchill.
Hear me now? I also had the pleasure of going to two groundbreakings today. One, Cracker Barrel at 9 this morning. They promised me some biscuits. That's why I set my alarm at 7. But we got a nice little package to take home. That, of course, is in Mayor Pro Tem's Ward 2, where good things happen also, not just Ward 1. The second groundbreaking, though, aside from the other one, which not to take away from Ward 2, of course, my colleague here, was the Dignity Health groundbreaking on the corner of Camino El Norte and Craig Road. That's going to be an amazing, two amazings on that amenity to our city as far as medical resources for our residents. A 24-hour hospital with other available services in there as they go forward. I'm not going to get into any discussions as far as whose ward is better, but I did make note at that groundbreaking that while the other wards are great, especially Ward 1, if you want more, though, you go to 4.
I think it's great to be the mayor.
Hey, Ward 3 is still worth raving about, too. So
I think it's great being the mayor. I get to just happy for all of you guys. I really am. So I think that's all our council items here. We'll go ahead and close that. This is the portion of the meeting that's designated and devoted to the public. After completing a blue card, our city clerk says right here, you can hand it to her, and then we will call you up and we'll discuss anything that you would like to talk about. We have that you limit your conversation for 3 minutes, and this is a point that we can just take input. We're not really allowed to call back and talk about subject matter with you. If it's something very, very important, we can put on another agenda and have a hearing on it in the future. So at first we have Mr. Greg Smith.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Two quick items I just wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if it's food for thought or cause for action, but one is I wanted to bring the council's attention to something that's really important to me. We have such a wonderful city here, and I have received a lot of complaints about a housing project over off of Decatur by the new health club there. It's a beautiful area. It's really coming up really nice, and home values, as a realtor, I see home values increasing by the month, et cetera. But there's this one place that I don't know if we need to send some people over regarding enforcement of code, et cetera. I know how communities can become blighted very quickly. A lot of these are remnants of the housing crisis that that this city has suffered. But right now, this community has, it's pitch black at night. There's no lighting. So right there is a huge safety issue. There's a lot of young people.
Greg, if you want, that's in Ward 3. I'll get
Okay.
together with you right after the meeting.
Okay,
And then
I
you
would
can
love to
give
share
me
that
the
information
cross
with you.
streets and all that.
Okay.
And I will get somebody looking into it.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Number two is I'd like to thank Councilman Churchill, who was very helpful with the situation at Cram Middle School. I'm sure that we have this situation at some other middle schools as well, but Cram seems to have percolated to the top of the barrel, if you will, or the pot. And it's regarding crossing guards being there to not only protect our children that go to school and leave school each day, but also making sure that the parents that are in a rush and sometimes don't pay attention or as much as they should for the safety of the children that they drop off and other people's children. We need to do more to protect everyone for all concerned. I've spoken with the 29 seconds, Greg. Spoken with the principal and vice principal, who are extremely helpful. There are some restrictions on what the school district can do. There's some liability responsibility on both sides. There's not a lot of money involved, but I think this is an effort that can be done to where we can make this work for everyone. You have a lot of smart people that work for you, Mr. Mayor, and one of them brought to my attention that when we were young, we used to have kids be crossing guards. I don't see that anymore, and I think that's a wonderful way to make this program work without costing the city or others a lot of money. But I'd like to continue to look into this and see if there's a way that we can resolve.
I actually did that. I was on the honor patrol, whatever the patrol was. Councilman Churchill, this is timely, and he's working on this with our police, so maybe you guys can continue to move that conversation forward at a later time.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Greg was out there with me when we looked at the dismissal times without crossing guards, complete chaos. Some moms sent me videos of it. But then we were also out there when we had the 3 crossing guards. And within maybe 18 minutes, all the children were dismissed, crossed properly. The parents were able to move back and forth, and even the buses leaving for another school left on time, and they were blowing their horns, giving us the thumbs up. So we're very aware of that, and we're trying to work something out, I assure you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Smith, for bringing your lovely wife with you tonight, too.
Okay. Sometimes he gets out.
Miss Britt, Kiana Everett Britt, Miss Britt here? I think she left. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Bouchard, Mr. Gary Bouchard?
I got 2 issues I want to talk about that are growing concerns. In my neighborhood, I'm seeing a lot of kids playing in the street on a regular basis. I mean by that, I mean kids 4 to 8 years old that should not be in the street unsupervised. But we don't have licensed parenthood yet, so I guess we have to put up with a lot of this. We have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, which no one adheres to. They seem like they want to drive between 35 and 45, even faster. And you know, that's not a good thing when kids are running out from in between parked cars. And driving over to McDonald's the other morning, I noticed the speed limit on Lone Mountain's 25. That's a thoroughfare. Why is it 25 in a neighborhood? It should be 15. I think it should be 15.
I'll tell you what, we have Jennifer Duty, who is our engineer department on that. She can help you with that. And we have the police in the back. If you want, there are ways that they can monitor the traffic in your area. And if you guys would get with Mr. Bouchard, that would be great.
Okay, the other thing is, as I'm getting older, it's getting me more of a nuisance, and that is the noise. We have 220,000 people here, and a lot of them want to drive cars without mufflers. Now, I know who's doing this because 16 years ago, my stepson informed me that you can buy a muffler that's legal, but it doesn't deaden the sound, so you can drive around and keep people awake. And on Washburn, which is right next to my neighborhood, on the weekends, Friday, Saturday nights, they're running those cars up and down there without mufflers to the point that people next to that, the people across the street from me, can't get any sleep. You know, we've got to be a progressive city, and I've talked to other communities, and other communities have passed noise ordinances where you have to have a real muffler on your motorcycle, on your car, because it is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. And the older you get, you know, the harder it is to put up with this stuff. You know, when you get old, we don't want to have fun. We just want to go to bed.
No, we'll take that under advisement. I do not know what the noise ordinances are. That's very important, and I'm impressed to learn that issue.
Okay.
I guess Ms. Morgan right there might know the issue better than I. So if you have a chance to meet him afterwards, thank you, Mr. Bouchard.
Okay, thanks for your ear.
Xavier Kelly. Mr. Kelly?
Good evening. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself to the City Council. I'm Xavier Kelly, and I'm a senior at Delta Academy, and I'm currently the class president. So with Delta Academy, I've had a lot of opportunities, and part of that is being in college classes my junior and senior year. I'm taking communications, and that's with the help of Jessica Saylor. She's with me. But I wanted to take it a step further and possibly pursue potential interest in interning for city council. So that would be amazing. But
it would be amazing for us too, probably.
Yeah.
So why don't you hang around here, and I'll let Dr. Lohr, city manager, have a moment with you. Would that be okay?
That would be great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Xavier reached out to us, I guess about a month ago, Jessica. And I know Councilwoman Wood and I both responded that we'd be happy to have you to come hang around with us. And so as soon as you're ready, you just contact us and we'll put you to work. And Councilman Churchill as well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Washington, Stanley Washington, there he is.
Hello, Your Honor, City Council, Stanley Washington, Las Vegas, with Sue Phelps, Veteran Reporter News. Have a report to go ahead and give, a good progressive report. First of all, I'd like to go ahead and want to know why I wasn't invited to the Cracker Barrel groundbreaking. Somebody's slipping up there, but I'm sure after I finish, we'll have that part straight. But on the real side, I want to say that Your Honor, we talked about how at the State of the City address, it's Texas Station, which was a wonderful address. We were there, it was a wonderful address. However, there was a certain population that wasn't there. We talked about that. And the population that wasn't there was the veteran population and the little people who couldn't afford to pay the $45 at 11 o'clock to go ahead and go. So as we basically talked about how the new veteran leadership is going to go ahead and be making the difference, and we're starting out by putting ourselves in a position to go ahead and lead by example. Hence, I think I pretty much shared with most of you up there the proposed idea, which is no more than proposed now. It's first North Las Vegas State of the Veterans Address, where we will go ahead and have an opportunity to go ahead and talk about what's in store for our veterans and how they fit into that great vision that you talked about at the State of the City address. Because I believe that we have an opportunity to play a major lead role. And with that, starting out with on March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, which is also the second day of the Las Vegas Stand Down, which over 1,000 veterans will be served, and all the service providers and all the town comes together for that day. That same day, from 2:30 to 5:30, right outside here at the park, on the lawn, okay, is going to be the address and a St. Patrick's Day Green Zone celebration. Now, what the idea is for it, we want everyone to be asked a question. What is the Green Zone? So we can answer that question there, for your honor, because few know, but many basically don't. And while we'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, Henderson does their thing. North Las Vegas will have an opportunity through the veterans to do their thing. Right here, you're already on calendar, as well as most of the individuals here. The only individual here of this flyer here, and I meant to bring more, but people kept taking me before I got here. Even our good friends from 3 Square and our good friends from Anthem. I'm going to be there next Tuesday at Anthem speaking to them. And 3 Square said, Mr. Washington, we'll provide the water. That's a great idea. There's no one who I've not talked about doesn't say this is the right thing to go ahead and do. So I'm giving the report that I have my application right here. I've been working with Cass Palmer. I have my site plan right here. I will be getting, and this thing's going down, Your Honor, and we're going to go ahead and have the time of our life. After this is over, we'll have some more individual discussions on this. I'm now looking to go ahead and work with North Las Vegas Security to see what's necessary there, and then to go ahead and work with Aubrey, not Aubrey, the insurance
branch. Aubrey
Branch. There you go, Aubrey Branch. They can get with him to go ahead and cover that angle there. So it is set. It is March 17th. This is the flyer. It's my only one. I'm certainly willing to go ahead and give it to you because I'm out. And this is what we will basically go ahead and do. For the menu, the Nevada Restaurant Association is, along with Frank Banana, the Fifth Avenue Restaurant Group's taking the lead on the food.
Okay.
All food will be free. The menu will be Nathan's Hot Dogs. Nevada Partners will be flipping hamburgers. Tamale Express will be providing tamales. And there will be tacos and pizza. Those are the items that will basically be there for everybody. There'll be soft drinks. There won't be alcohol. There'll be green slushes and stuff like that. But from the food menu, we're keeping it real simple. We're expecting anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 to come out. And we will basically have the time of our life as we show that leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. We're looking forward to this. And it's nice that you'd come out today.
Thank you very much.
Council, is there anybody else that from the general public who needs to address the council? Then this meeting is adjourned.